oh gosh, there's one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, good fish. Over the last decade, I've caught fish in every corner of North America. From California to Mexico, Florida to New York, and all the way up to Canada, documenting it all on video for you guys.
Yes, I got it!
But as a video creator and instructor, I've generally left out one of the most important and the largest demographics in the world of fishing, and that is the bank beater, the pond prowler, the shore master.
Yeah!
In this series, I'm making it my goal to fish more bodies of water than I ever have before, but this time, from the bank. My name's Tyler, and this is 100 Ponds. Well, what's going on, folks, and welcome back to 100 Ponds. I love this series because I get to go pond fishing and have everything recorded, teaching you guys everything I learned along the way. I usually have some long, fancy intro. Not today. We're gonna get straight to the next pond, which is pond number 61. Now, one thing I did not mention in the intro there is that I am on a very, very short time window. I've only got about half an hour to fish before I go to a meeting at Skeeter Boats in Kilgore, and so I need to be as efficient as possible. As I make a long cast here with the walking bait, I'm gonna go over conditions. We have relatively windy, I'd say it's blowing about 10 miles an hour, overcast for the first time all fall, and the weather is finally a little bit colder here in Texas. I think it's like 65 or 70 degrees outside right now, which at least for us is prime time fall. The pond I am fishing has, I'd say, 2-foot visibility, maybe even more if the sun was higher. This looks like the main grass in the water, which I believe is milfoil. And so I'm just gonna cover the entire bank line that I can fish this way with the walking bait. And so even more than usual, I'm gonna be covering water fast because I don't have much time. Oh my gosh, dang it. Oh, there was a bass right there. And you know what? I'm gonna go back with a shaky head because I know where he's at. Dang it. I guess the fish did not want a shaky head, eh? Well, we know there are bass in here as I missed one. The grass in this pond has started to die off. I can throw a walking bait across this whole area when I think even a month ago, driving past this pond, it was totally matted over with grass. Come on, baby, get a bite, get a bite. I can't be late to my meeting. Yes, yes, there we go, there we go. Come on in here, baby. Get in here. Wasn't even watching. Yes, sir, boom. Absolutely beautiful fish right there, 2-pounder on the Sexy Dog with the VMC Finesse Redline trebles. Whew, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Super healthy fish, and that is a success. Exactly where that fish should be, right in between 2 little grass patches. You know, as the grass dies off, the fish should still be around it in all your bodies of water. You just gotta find the good, healthy clumps. That right there, folks, is what I call being efficient. Making long casts that probably nobody else is making to those grass mats out there in the middle. The fish are using as ambush points to eat those bluegill and baitfish as they meander their way on by. Come on, there should be a fish right here, right where my bait is. Nobody's made that cast in days. I knew it, I knew it. I told you guys, nobody had made that cast in days, and it resulted in a fish. He's running at me though. How am I gonna get him? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Come on, get up, get up, get up. Oh, yes sir. Yes, sir. Hooks kept him pinned, even though I had to drag him through all this stuff. Almost a 2-pounder and just super, super healthy. I guarantee there are, you know, 5, 6, 7-pounders in here. I just would have to give more time to it. But what did I tell you guys? Make the good long cast to pieces of structure in this pond, specifically aquatic vegetation clumps that are still alive. I see one back there still, but you know what? I gotta go. I got a meeting to make.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Now, there are no doubt many ways that I could pick apart this pond, catch more fish, but you know what? We've caught enough fish. I have proved my point that covering water and hitting high profile targets can get you some dang bass. Also, you guys at pond number 62. Well, good morning, folks, from our next pond, and I've got to tell you something. It's cold. You heard that right. Here in Texas, we have one of our first big cold fronts. It is 44 degrees outside as I'm filming this video, and I kind of wanted to wait to film at this pond specifically until it got colder because I want to challenge myself. I don't want to fish easy conditions all the time, and so I wanted to have a pretty major cold front to see what lures I can catch them on and what I can teach you guys along the way. So you may think, well, big cold front, I'm going to start with slower moving baits, but that's not the case. I don't put down the reaction baits like the vibrating jig and the square bill lipless jerk bait until it gets to like December here in Texas, and even then on some warm days I will still throw shallow diving reaction baits. So this pond here, as you can tell, relatively nice size, residential. Here in Texas, all these neighborhoods stock their ponds, so there should be plenty of fish in here. I've been here before, so I know there's a grass line that goes around the entire edge of the pond, and it drops off after about maybe 5 to 6 feet out. It drops to about 4 to 5 feet. So I know there's a good grass edge. There should be fish. The water is definitely colder, but I'm going to start. I'm going to attempt to catch fish on the fast moving baits first because I feel like fish will still bite, that kind of stuff. As you can tell, I'm talking slow because my lips are cold. But enough chit chat, let's catch a dang bass. I'm starting off with the square bill crankbait, gonna reel it pretty dang slow on the Custom Light shallow spool reel. It is the BFS style reel that Lew's came out with. And I'm really using this reel a ton this fall because it can actually throw these lures that are, you know, small bait fish imitating. Oop, uh-oh, and it looks like we have some grass. That's the edge I was talking about. I'm kind of hoping that the grass has started to die off so I can find the good grassy areas and then find the fish that are using the good grass, because it can definitely get to that point once the grass starts to die off. You have a lot of, you know, wasted casts because they get nasty snot on them. But back to this reel, I mean, it launches a Strike King 1.0 crankbait, a tiny popper, tiny walking bait. I never thought that I'd get into throwing these super shallow spool reels, but for these types of lures, man, they still give you control when you're fighting. It also gives you the opportunity to throw tiny lures, which fish this time of the year have a tendency to like. Not every time and not every fish, but sometimes that's what the fish want, and I like to stick with this to start this time of year. Ooh, there we go. There we go, baby. Yes. First fish of the day. Bring him over here, bring him over here. Yes, sir. All right, so they're gonna eat the crankbait. But one thing I noticed right away about this bite here is that the fish got the back treble hook, which means that it just slapped at it. They're not really gonna eat it, you know, down the gullet like the fish did here a few weeks ago. I can still catch them on reaction baits, but it might not be the best the best type of bite, the best hookup percentage. But you know what? That right there is a success. Obviously, they're still active enough to eat moving baits, and so if I can, I will. And you know, one of the things that I think will truly make you a better fisherman, not just pond angler, but also kayak and bass boat, is using your lures and your gear to actually understand and then adapt to what's down there on the bottom. So if I make a cast out here, looks to me like open water, and then I hit some grass. So obviously I know right where my lure is out there, there is some kind of cover or structure in the water. And so if I want to be outside the cover, I'll make a cast into deeper water. If I want to be more in the cover, I'll make a cast into shallower water. So you've got to use every single cast, every single time that you notice something different about the bottom composition, and kind of start to put together a map of what's down there on the bottom. And the quicker you do that with your lures, the better you can understand what's actually down there and where the fish are more than likely to live. So I'm gonna, now that I've made a cast and got a bite next to that grass clump, I'm gonna keep making casts to that area 5 or 6 more times. And again, if I hadn't, there's the grass right there. Oh no, that wasn't grass, that was a stump. Come on now, I only got one of these crankbaits. Oh man, I can see the leader to my line, like I am not that deep. There we go. Oh, somebody else's fishing line. Dang it, no. Ah. Well, there goes that. Well, as I was saying, you want to create a map of what's down there, and now I have a map that says don't cast over there specifically because I hooked someone's line, I drug it this way with my lure, and I broke off. So now I have basically like a tripwire that's hanging over that entire area over there. Maybe one day I'll come over with 65-pound braid and rip that thing out. But as of now, lost the crankbait. Uh-oh, folks. I hooked the pond monster. I got one. Plastic bag. All right, we gotta move locations. This corner is not popping. Yeah, this grass has died off significantly. I mean, that cast that I just made right there, sure, I got a little bit of grass on it, but I mean, I was totally like choked up with grass even 2 weeks ago. So that tells me these fish probably don't have any concrete stuff to sit on anymore. That's why finding the best grass edge, the best living patch still available is your best shot at catching fish. Again, it's all about putting together a map of what's down there on the bottom. You know, on public lakes, we have a map of what's down there. But even then, on public lakes, I still use the mapping method in my head, I'll call it, with a crankbait, with a jig, with a shaky head, to really feel intricately what's down there, to make myself, you know, understand the body of water quicker and therefore make better casts, make better retrieves, at least for what I think the fish should be doing. Now, this is something that you learn over time. You're not good at it right away. But the more you do it, the more you find success with it, the more confidence you will gain. You know what though? I got an idea. I don't know if the square bill is really the best lure for today. That's the epiphany I've had, and I have an idea. I'll be back. Because you know, if the grass is dying off, and maybe the fish aren't as enthusiastic about chasing down a square bill as I had hoped and thought they would be, maybe, just maybe, dang it, do I not have one? Shoot, I was getting all pumped to throw a small jerkbait, but I don't have one. I've got a full-size jerkbait. I guess I could try that. Yeah, we're gonna go full size. Now, the one problem with the suspending jerkbait is the lack of haptic feedback. I like to feel the vibration on the rod tip of the square bill, of the lipless crankbait, and the jerkbait doesn't have that. And so you kind of have to force yourself to be okay, just, you know, jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, pause, and not have to feel what's down there. And after a whole spring, summer, and fall of smoking them on a crankbait, it's gonna take a little bit of rewiring to throw the jerkbait effectively, at least in my mind. Oh gosh, there's one. Yes sir, good fish. Oh, come on, baby, yes. I'm gonna bring you over to the camera, bring you over, you've got it choked. I'm not gonna lose you. Yes, come on up here, yes sir. That right there, folks at home, is what I'm talking about. First fish on the jerkbait. I told myself that I was going to commit to it. And man, I mean, I took myself all the way down this bank. I fished slow, and finally got the bite I was looking for. Not a big one, 2.5 pounds, but it fills me with a lot of confidence, at least for the rest of this season into the winter, that I can catch fish on a lure that I don't feel what's down there. I know you guys may think that's nothing, but I've been throwing the same stuff for a long time. So to gain confidence back in lures that maybe a little slower definitely makes me feel good. And that right there is a beautiful, beautiful fish. See ya, big girl. Well, today's video was not filled with, you know, a crazy amount of fish catches, but I think it was filled with some good nuggets of knowledge. And that's truly everything that I want you guys to get from this series. Of course, I want it to be exciting and entertaining, but more than all, I want you guys to learn how to become better anglers, and specifically better pond anglers, because of 100 Ponds. As always, I will have all of my gear, rods, reels, bait, line linked in the video description below. If y'all could do me a favor and shop using those links, they are affiliate links. So when you click them, it tracks your entire purchase to my account and helps my channel continue to grow. Well, my folks, hopefully y'all enjoyed. If you did, I will leave my last 100 Ponds video up here in this corner. My name's Tyler. As always, it's a pleasure, and we'll see you guys next time right here on TRF and 100 Ponds. Get pumped, get hype.